Good evening, everyone, and happy Tuesday to you. Thanks for joining us for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett. This evening, we're going to be talking about the WMU Cold Case Program. I'm actually joined now by two Western students, an undergraduate student and a graduate student. If I could just both have you talk a little bit about your role within the WMU Cold Case Program. Amber, I can start with you.
Cool. So, hi guys, my name is Amber and I am the administrator for the WMU Cold Case Program with Michigan State Police. So my position is vastly different than anyone else's. I do a lot more of the administrative tasks, opening the office, closing the office, tons of paperwork and forms. I help check our cases in and out, move things between our rooms so that way someone always knows where our documents are at all times, because that's really important. And I just help run the office so the undergrads can do the work that is so important.
If I could have you also talk about your experience. You're the undergrad student, right?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Maite. I'm the undergrad. I am part of the Western Michigan University Cold Case Program with Michigan State Police. And I work amongst a group of students to assist detectives in cold cases through timelines, analyzing, digitizing, and looking over many documents.
How did you, Maite, get involved in this? What interests you into this program?
Oh, actually, when I was in high school, I took a EFE law enforcement class, and I worked closely with an officer, and that kind of made me want to pursue law enforcement more. But when I went to Western, before I went to Western, I heard about the cold case program, and that made me want to go to Western. And I applied my first year going in as a freshman, but during that time, it was COVID was happening, the pandemic, so it was closed, and now I'm here. I'm excited to be here and continue with the cold case program.
And Amber, what made you interested in doing something like this, doing this work as a graduate student?
Yeah, so I didn't have to apply to be in the program. I was actually asked by Dr. Kirsten to come in and kind of be another adult in the room, if you want to say that. I was just interested in the opportunity because it seemed interesting and different than what I was doing. I study reproductive health and more like medical sociology. So this is something that I had no experience in whatsoever. And now I'm actually considering doing this work after I graduate and I leave Western. So it's been quite the educational adventure for me, as well as the undergrads who get to do all of the more hands-on experiential learning type things.
You know, this program is so impressive. This isn't something that you all get, credit for. It's just your involvement in it, and you're helping these detectives solve these cases. You're doing work that they wouldn't otherwise have time to do. Either one of you, what does that mean for you to be helping those families?
Well, for me, it's very fulfilling to be able to help families around our community. As I said before, I want to be in law enforcement because I grew up in Michigan, and I'm very happy to give back to my community and help the people that I grew up with. And helping those families is just great. It's very fulfilling for me.
Is it a lot of work? Oh, you can go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
I was just going to say, for me, I am the person who does the math. So I know how many hours that we work, and I know what everyone is kind of working on, even though I'm not actively doing it with them. And so I get to see kind of the open and close of every single case that we work on, which is kind of really awesome. And I know how much that means to the families involved in every single one of those cases. So it kind of means a lot to everyone to have that opportunity, even though we don't get to meet everybody, even though we don't talk to everybody. It's just kind of nice to know that we have a purpose and that we are doing something for the greater good of our community, our state, everyone.
And law enforcement, I mean, you guys are trusted with, this is very confidential information and it's all sealed away. No one can see this. It's in a separate part of an entire building at Western. What does that mean to you to be sworn to this confidentiality and having to, keep that a secret?
I think it means a lot that we're trusted. We have all kinds of trainings. We talk about it all the time. And that's part of my job too, is to make sure that the students understand exactly what this opportunity is. And so I think it's amazing that everyone takes it so seriously, because it is quite serious. No one else gets this opportunity. No one else gets to see these things. And the fact that we can house them and keep them means a lot. There's a lot of trust that goes into this program with MSP and the university and us, and with Dr. K and everyone involved. So it's kind of amazing that we have this opportunity, because it is so important, but everyone does take it incredibly serious, which is awesome.
As Amber mentioned, it is a very, very big opportunity for us undergrads. As I mentioned, it took years for me to be able to. Sorry, it took many years for me to be able to apply for this and get in. So I think it helps us show that we are capable of maintaining confidentiality. And for many of us that want to eventually work with Michigan State Police, like me, it shows them that we are capable of following through with our word.
What do you see your role being in the future when it comes to working with MSP? Do you want to focus on, these cold cases and helping these families?
Yes, I wanted to work. Well, law enforcement is a huge branch. You can become a part of the canine unit, narcotics, cold case. So I wanted to get my hands on a little bit of all in the law enforcement. So that's my goal.
And Amber, recently the Michigan State budget, they allocated money for this cold case program. This is such a big deal because you guys really depend on that money to continue operations and helping people out. Hearing that, what did that mean to the WMU Cold Case Program, knowing that the legislature saw the value in this?
It means quite literally everything. We try not to tell the undergrads too much, but we kind of really need this money. We need operation expenses. We need to pay rent. We need to pay for office supplies. We need help getting gas so we can go to fun events and tours and do all the things that we want to do. So the money kind of means everything. So just knowing that it was a possibility, that it was in the works, that people were talking about it, means a lot to all of us. It means that we're being seen and heard. These cases are being seen and heard, but it also means that we get to operate for another year. And that's really important to all of us.
And it's important to, like you mentioned, these families in these cases. I'm going to go ahead and pull up your website right here. And, it talks about how many hours each semester the student cold case they work. And again, these students, they are doing it just for the experience, right?
They get class credit. So for a lot of people, it's for the experience. And then on top of it, they get class credit. Some of the students also have the opportunity, well, all the students have the opportunity to apply to work for MSP positions.
Mm-hmm.
And so some students are getting paid, not all of them. But for the most part, the reason why people want to be in the program is for the experience, to get to see what we do.
And then I just want to go over, because I know that all the cases are also available on the websites, and just going through, this program, it's giving answers to these families, which is huge. I mean, we've talked to families of cold cases, and sometimes as the years go on, they start to lose hope almost, because they don't feel like no one's listening to them. But the students here, you're saying they are listening, they want to help.
Yes, exactly that. I know it's really frustrating when you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard. And that's our main goal, is to help people get closure, to help people find answers to their life's greatest mystery.
Could either of you imagine that you would be doing something like this, that you would be helping these families?
No. For me, I would have never imagined that I would have this opportunity. This is a one in a lifetime opportunity for me. It's a hands-on experience. It allowed me to connect with professional and the elite law enforcement team that we have in Michigan, and with the WMU Cold Case Program with Michigan State Police. I don't think there's anything better than that.
I never thought I would be here, and I never thought that this is what I want my life to continue to be. So it's been a wild adventure for me personally to come to that just realization. And it's been such an amazing time.
And, I just want to, let people know that there's a way for them to donate. You mentioned, Amber, about how important it is to get that money. They can donate on Western sites and help this program if they see that, this is something that they want to donate to.
For sure.
And it does make an impact.
It really does. That money does come to us. I can attest for that. And we use it for the things that we need to help us do the work that we need to do, and also to just help us survive so we can do more in the future.
As we wrap things up here, I just want to ask both of you, so far being involved in this, what has been your favorite part? What's a moment that you will never forget being involved in this program?
For me, I think it's a lot of moments, but the end of every single semester, seeing everyone leave, because I get to know what they've done the entire semester. I get to see them grow, see what their futures now were going to look like after this experience, and to just kind of have hope for the future. These kids, they're not kids, they're college students, but these students are going to go off and do some good in the world. And we helped, in part, do that. And we are rooting for them. And that's just special for me.
Well, for me, every moment in the program is special. I think that this opportunity in general was special. All seeing everybody and getting to know people with the same mindset, goals, and just everybody that is in there wants to do the same thing, and it's help families. So seeing us work together as a whole is just very it's a really good feeling. And it's pretty much thanks to Dr. K, who helped start this program. I'm very thankful and excited to continue with the program as well.
I actually got an opportunity to see all the work that you guys do. We were covering a case last fall or earlier this year, the Rhonda Johari case. And so I went out to Western and saw your setup and saw just how impressive, and talked to those students who are working on that case in particular, and just how dedicated they are. So I know that means a lot to these families, because I've talked to these families, and this program is making a difference. So thank you both for taking the time to talk to me tonight, and thank you for all of your continued work in helping solve these cold cases throughout Michigan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney.
Oh, yes, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you as well.
Thanks.
You too.
Well, that does it for us for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett. I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight. And I'm going to show the Western website one more time. Again, this is the WMU Cold Case Program with Michigan State Police. And these students are working hard to solve these cold cases for these families and bring the answers that these families are seeking and have been seeking for so long as to what happened to their loved ones, whether their loved one is missing or, was killed in a hit and run or an unsolved crime. They're there to help. They're there to assist with law enforcement and really make a difference. So again, this is WMU's website, and you can give if that's something that you're interested in. You can also see all of the cases that they're currently working on right now. 2 of these cases are actually in the mid-Michigan area, the Rhonda Johari case and the Ann Pates case. So you can read up on those and also learn about the cases that they've been able to solve, the Roxanne Wood and Kathy Schwartz. But again, those current cases are all right here. And I just want to thank you all for joining us tonight for Crime Unveiled with Courtney Bennett. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening.